We're here with some interviews from Carnage Cup 13. We're here with John Rare, and the other special guests are Brian White and Lil Sicko. Um, John Rare.
Alright, here I come. Thank you. Here I am. Well, thanks for joining everybody on TikTok. These interviews will also be available tomorrow on my YouTube, but we've got Brian White and Little Sicko, who were the two individuals that were in the match with me for Carnage Cup, Saul Forever. Gentlemen, the Saul legacy has always been, one of the more outspoken stories in the Carnage Cup. What was it like to hear that you were, chosen to be in the final Saul match?
You want to go first, Sicko? I can. Yeah. Alright, so, the Saul match. I'm just going to go back to my childhood, man. Bear, you already know. I witnessed what you and what I want to call Uncle Spider beat living crap out of each other. And I don't know, just going back that far into my childhood, I guess that's what set a spark for me. And whenever I got the invitation to step into y'all's boundaries to Saul Forever was inspired, 100%. That every match I've ever had, that's what built up to this match. So whenever you come to me, after witnessing everything y'all two have done over the last couple of years, and being a part of the family, you asked me this, yeah, that right there is the best thing in the world that could ever happen to me.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that 1,000%. My reaction was, first of all, I was just honored that, you chose me to be a part of that, of something so rich in history and such a violent, beautiful story that's been told. I mean, and to be a part of it with my mentor and the guy that I idolized growing up, John Rare, and then throw it on top of it, a guy I've been wanting to work one-on-one, Lil Sicko. I mean, that alone was just a rush, I guess you could say, because you got several different styles in there. I'm just a brawler, just like to go fight, and then you got Sicko, who can fly from the heavens, who can withstand more pain than I've ever seen anyone withstand, and then you got the Angel of Death, John Rare. And I tell anybody, there's two different people there. There's John Rare, and then there's the Angel of Death, and I got the Angel of Death that day, and again, I was just humbled and so honored to be a part of it.
Okay, so I have a quick question for Little Sicko. Going into your match, did you feel like you were under any kind of pressure, like you had to live up to something, like it was a make it or break it for you?
Yes and no. I kind of felt like I had big shoes to fill because, like we've all known for years, Spider's been gone, and I am the first ever second generation wrestler for IWA South. Sicko the Clown was my father back from Carnage Cup, I want to say 8.
Yep.
Ever since his debut. That's part of what sparked my career, and between him and Spider, I felt like I had to do this for them both. And I guess, so yeah, you could say that, but in a way, no, because no matter what happens, I'm going to always do this.
Okay. And then now for Brian. You won Carnage Cup 13, correct?
No. Brian Woods won it.
He won.
First row Memorial Gauntlet.
Yeah, you won the gauntlet.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you feel like you went into this with any kind of pressure? Like it was built up and you got in there and it and it wasn't like what you thought it was going to be.
I absolutely came in with some pressure. I have talked the big game for years about being a part of this, and I told a lot of people, I said, I am going to be in that cup, you know, man. I'm gonna make my mark, and I feel like I did. The pressure, yeah, because I've got eyes like Chewy Martinez, I've got Necro the Butcher, I've got Bryant Woods, I've got Sicko and the crew, I've got the entire roster watching. You know, they're and I'm not saying them, but I'm going to say this: my haters on the internet, they're waiting for me to fall flat on my face, and I didn't give them what they wanted. Thank God I didn't. But
They're going to keep watching. The haters are always going to keep watching. Always remember that.
Exactly. They're gonna watch every daggum time, and they're gonna hate, and that's okay. Hate on me, you just motivate me. So
exactly.
But it was a lot of pressure, and then to catch me win the gauntlet, that was just a very distinct honor to be in the league of men that were in that match. So there was a lot of pressure going into that. I wanted to make sure I didn't let myself, my fans, John down. I mean, there was so much playing in my head at that time.
I understand that. So the same question for Mr. John Rare here. Did you feel like you were under any kind of pressure? Like you felt like you had to do this for a reason? Talk about that.
Well, I'd say pressure just to make it live up to the violence of, the other Saw matches. And, every Saw match has had some kind of outrageous spot in it that's kind of put it over. And of all damn things, the thing that fucked me up the most was just landing on a damn ring. And, like I said, it literally felt like I ripped my damn arm off when I landed. And, we bumped over in a ring, for 20 damn years. And that's what fucks me up the most. But, yeah, the Saw match, always was to live up to a hellacious reputation. And, I've been given great feedback from the match, despite, what happened. So, hell, I'm happy with it. Great. Hello, Boris.
Thank you all who joined. As most of you know, there was a lot of footage that I could not get at Carnage Cup due to injury and the fact that we had to get back. John was supposed to work the next day, so he didn't work the next day. We ended up coming back and doing that. But like a lot of you that just joined that didn't know, we have special guests with Brian White and Little Sicko. We just had a bunch of people come in at one time, so including Boris Dookie and some other wrestlers that I know. Thank you for joining my live feed. Next question that I did have for Little Sicko. Does your spouse, girlfriend, significant other, what does she feel about your wrestling in deathmatch like Carnage Cup?
Well, that's a rough situation.
Yeah.
Whenever I introduced her into wrestling, our first date was at a wrestling show. I met her family the first time, the whole 9 yards at the wrestling show. So I kind of introduced her early. So indie wrestling is not so bad. 100% one of my biggest supporters. I can't say my biggest, but she's one of my supporters.
Right.
Now, whenever I started telling her about doing these death matches, just like her and everybody else in my life, you're freaking crazy. But, like my mother, I'll support you. But
yeah, I've seen her there too.
You're not leaving me behind. You're going to drag me everywhere you go. I can't not be there. So it's a tough one for me.
Yeah, I understand. She's a lot like I was with John when he first started out. I'll support you, I'll follow you, but don't leave me behind, But, and then now, same question for you, Brian. How did Sherry feel about seeing you at Carnage Cup? and everything.
She was proud as a peacock. My wife, I will say, is my biggest fan and my biggest supporter. The emotion that was shared between myself and the others. I mean, like, I was full of emotion that day because Carter's Cup meant so much to me, and to be in the Saul match with my mentor again, like I said, that's a dream come true. That's 13 years of hard work finally paying off. I've been beaten and had my butt handed to me up and down the road so many years, and nobody wanted to give me a chance. And then John gave me the opportunity, and here we are today. I made it into one of the most violent deathmatch tournaments in the world, and who was there with me? Sherry. That's my rock, and she is my biggest fan. So, and it's pretty much like you guys said. She'll support me, she'll go with me, but just don't leave her behind.
Yeah. Well, that's good. And then now, John, same question. It's okay, you can be honest, you're live.
Oh,
I can't do
okay, so
nothing.
what was the question exactly?
Oh my gosh.
I want to make sure I'm answering right here. Repeat the question.
Okay, so how do you think I feel about seeing you at Carnage Cup?
You are probably worried because Carnage Cup usually ends up being something stupid, and something stupid happens. So,
Thank you, Boris Dookie, for the gifts.
Now, I can say, John, that you were one of the biggest fears going up into that match for months. Whenever I started hearing, like, who we're going into, the first round card and everything, she started freaking out. She started going back watching your matches with me and freaked out on me. Yeah. So there's that.
It's pretty intimidating to know that you're facing the man that survived so many wars with Spider Boudreaux. You know what I'm saying? That's intimidating as heck.
Exactly. To know that he's done stabbed 2 others. He had his finger cut off and then gonna turn around and stab himself?
Yeah, John. That's been puzzling me to this. Can I go off script and just ask, why in the heck did you stab yourself?
don't worry, it will be brought up, but it's going to be on a different documentary on my channel. So, unfortunately, for the documentary, I can't answer that today.
Due to self-harm restriction on life.
But trust me, you'll want to watch the documentary. But the real story is my finger being cut to the bone. I mean, come on. Did you see the photo of this thing?
Yeah, it was rough.
Yeah.
It's not looking. I mean, it still looks.
Stitches.
Yeah, it looks pretty wild right now.
Quite a few stitches. But it's okay.
But yeah, what did I think about the match? I liked it. It was violent, and that's what a Saul match is about: being violent and just telling us, a wild story.
I think my favorite spot in the whole match was when Sicko gave me the pile driver on the barbed wire trampoline. That was just sick as it could be, and the fans reacted so big to that.
They did, and I'll tell you why, because I didn't think that through. The barbed wire got me too. You gotta think I on it too. That was not so great idea.
So worth it.
It was. It wasn't the worst thing that happened over the weekend.
I tell anybody that I got good chemistry with a lot of people in the IWA, but I finally discovered just how much chemistry Lil Sicko and I have, and I look forward to many more battles and wars with this man because I have a lot of respect for this young man.
I don't know which cereal box you're looking into, but you might want to look in a few more because there's a few more stories to tell.
Amen.
And trust me, this will probably be the second time I've said this, and the last time it didn't work out so well. But it happened after I retired. I was like, the IWA roster is in good hands at the moment. The last time I said that, it seemed like everybody dispersed. But yet again, we're at that phase again where I'm saying that the IWA roster is in such good hands right now. Like, I'm excited. I'm definitely excited to see the future of, what's coming next year. We already know the next show, Southern Outlaws. Obviously, I've got something up my sleeve. I'm going to be there causing havoc like I always do. And then...
Yeah, that you do.
Unfortunately for the people that stand in our way or have something that we won't, it's going to just suck for them. But, we'll talk about that later on. The Saul match itself, not only, oh, look at that, mega likes. How do you get mega likes on here?
I got a lot of likes.
Oh, okay. Like, not only were, we given the task of, doing the Saul match itself, but we also was given the honor of doing the curtain jerk, going out there and opening up the show.
In a six-sided ring.
In a six-sided ring, which I found out wasn't very fun to land on. But I'm not.
It was something I've never experienced before, and just so everybody knows, we were the first promotion to ever have a six-sided ring in a deathmatch tournament, just FYI.
Probably one of the most exciting things I've done besides being announced for the Carnage Cup 13. Or 12. Being in the six-sided was most definitely one of the most challenging things I've ever seen. The only thing that saved me was the 4 ropes wrapped with razor wire and the 2 ropes open. Because I'm like, okay, this is not going to... We ain't got to worry about being a traditional match. We're about to go in here and we're about to have some fun. I ain't got to worry about half of what I do, half of my moveset. It's not all I'm about, but I do a lot. Because, look at me, I'm the smallest guy in the business. You know what you got to do to keep up with the big guys.
Right, I agree with that. Me personally, I'll be the first to admit on air and publicly that I kind of forgot a few spots, but you guys took good care of me and you helped me remember. And John, when I did mess up, he let me know you messed up, kid. I felt more bundles of tubes with more force than I did anyone in that whole tournament.
And chug along.
Questions. Let's see. This is saying... Oh, it is saying that. Did you read that? Well, read it to us now. Sorry, gentlemen. The fucking teleprompter is fucked.
Hey, you told us to watch our mouth.
I'm on live.
Sorry. Okay, let's get back to the discussion. Before the bell rung, Brian, what was your motivation to keep your mind on track? What was your motivation? Be professional. Damn it.
My motivation was that I wanted to impress you and Lil Sicko, and I wanted to impress the whole world on pay-per-view that I belong here and that I have more to bring to the world than just a meth face, as I've been told. I have talent. I do have some skills, and that I can take a whooping. I can take a good whooping. I really didn't want to let you down because it was your last match, which I don't know if you've announced that or not, but it was your last match. It was your last Carnage Cup, and I wanted to try to make it as special as I could. And I hope I did you some justice. And Lil Sicko, I hope I did you some justice as well.
We weren't there for both days, and we know you guys have been. What would you say match of the night in your guys's?
Both of Lil Sicko's matches.
That narrows it down very much.
I mean, I now, if you want me to give you the next one, I would say it would be Jay Blade and Sicko.
Yeah.
I'd probably rate that third.
Oh man, let me hear yours.
I wouldn't give it second for that one. first match, or like number one rating for me would have to be the match of the night. Number one, everybody was there to witness that, where Bryant beat the dog snot out of me.
Indeed.
He took me for a loop, and I couldn't realize where I was at. I didn't hear the 3 until 3. He gets up and he's like, I didn't just knock you out that easy. Like, get up. And then when he realizes that I'm actually going to get up, he's like, no, get back down. And then he proceeds to beat the dog snot out of me. So I would have to say, even though it didn't go according to plan, that would have to be the match of the Cup, considering it's Carnage Cup. We brought the Carnage.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Yeah, I will have to say from the videos and photos that we did see, I was leaning more towards the Little Sicko and Bryant match as well.
Yeah.
Let me give a shout out real quick. I gotta give a shout out to my homie, Sick Boy. Great showing. Great to have you, homie. I hope you come back. Muchas gracias for the love. Can't wait to see you again.
Yeah, he was good too.
Yeah, I was extremely happy with the talent that was on this Carnage Cup, and like it was a proven fact that like when you look at who stood out the most, it was all Deep South boys, and you know I'm always one of the first and loudest to say, you know, we need to push our boys first, our boys. But, you know, this weekend proved, you know, our boys can, you know, say that themselves by going out there and doing what they did this, you know, that weekend.
Yeah.
I was very proud of Jay Blade, man. I cannot express just how proud and myself and John and a few others, we've been saying that he is the best kept secret in indie wrestling, and now his name's going to be known, and he's finally going to get the recognition he deserves as well.
Yeah, Jay Blade is, and this is always what I say, is like he is one of the most technical fit wrestlers that I've been in the ring with over this past year.
Yeah, I mean, and him and Sicko both being high flyers, that just makes it even better. I love watching that. That's just pure gold.
I've been in the ring many times with Jay Blade, and what we did that past Sunday was just a taste of what we could do. Just next time you see us together, it might not be the same. That's one man I can say I've wrestled 100 times, and every match, different. Start to finish, nothing's the same. If we do have an idea that we want to try that's similar to what we've done, it's always different and it's always something new.
The chemistry is
That's
different.
That's what I can say about Jay Blade.
Yeah. Yeah, trust me, Jay Blade, if Jay Blade was to win the Carnage Cup, you know, just say next weekend, none of us would be surprised. You know, there'd be some people out there, obviously, that wouldn't know who he was, and then they'd have to do their research. But, you know, we know who the hell Jay Blade is, and it would not be a shock for him to win any Carnage Cup or any tournament in the near future.
Especially not after the work he's put in the last 4 to 5 years he's been in Deep South.
Yes.
I might not have been in Deep South the whole time, but I've always been, a mark of the business itself. We all are to do this. We have to be.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you 1,000%.
Now, I will say, though, not getting away from Jay Blade, what really sparked me on being one of the craziest and doing one of the craziest stuff, or doing the craziest stuff at Deep South, is because it's part of the talk. You ever hear the stories? Like, I've been in the business the last couple of years, and all I hear, nobody wants Deep South. We're from the South. Nobody wants the South boys. I'm like, why? What's wrong with this? Like, I'm popping up. I'm in the business. Everybody wants to say we're the craziest and gnarliest guys in the business. So you know what? I'm gonna stick to the word. I'm gonna show them what the Dirty South can be. We're trained. We're good wrestlers. And we can bleed buckets and put on a good show at the same time. Some places can't even do that.
and the brotherhood. There's no politics, no bullshit politics.
I've never seen another locker room that's any smoother than the one we have at IWA Deep South.
Agreed, 1,000%. Hey, look, Blaine Evans joined us.
That is Blaine. You know what? I've come to the realization that Blaine is actually a pretty well, good guy and everything.
He was a good,
He's a
good
jerk.
a good fighter too.
Who? Blaine?
Yeah.
Hey, Blaine is an amazing person. As I mentioned earlier, we are going to be having a Spiral special coming soon where me, Kevin Brandon, and Blaine Evans will talk about the Spiral match for the first time ever.
Hey, can we give a shout out to also the Hardcore Hillbilly? Much love to that guy.
Yeah.
You really showed out too, brother. Good to see you again.
Good old Hardcore Hillbilly. I remember whenever he was ring, what do you call those? Ring guards. Not a guard, but ring security guard, yeah. At the Angel of Death tournament.
We had so much great talent there. Like I say, I just, a legend told me, he said that's how Deep South should be portrayed. I mean, the brotherhood, we got people from all backgrounds, races, creeds, religions, whatever. Everybody's just having a great time. Larry Legend is a class act and one of the best in the business.
Damn right. And, that's what the internet ain't going to talk about. How Larry Legend was just another person there chilling with us. He had the time of his life. For the love of God, I don't even have to call Chewy Mexican.
Well, I can tell you another thing about this weekend. I know it was the weekend of the Juggalos because myself, Sicko, Chewy, Bryant, Necro, so many Juggalos there, man, showed up in full force. Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, I do have to say, though, about when you guys were talking about brotherhood and all that within IWA, there was a moment that me and John caught. It was actually in a video that we're going to give a shout out to Bryant Woods, but I'll let John, it's more personal, so I'll let John explain it while we got Little Sicko here for an interview as well.
Yeah, you talking about the one with on the hill?
Off the U-Haul truck.
Oh, yeah. We were watching the spider driver that he gave you off of the U-Haul truck. And, for the love of God, I've taken that a million times. I've seen it. And, Bryant had you protected, the most protected way that he could have done it.
He had your head up against his chest. Instead of down below by his waist, like he's supposed to for the move.
And I was just damn, Spider, I was about to say Spider.
He took the blunt of the fall.
Bryant took the blunt of it, but boy, man, he protected the shit out of you in that.
We were just really proud of that.
That right there wasn't that scary, honestly, I had to say. Going off the roof with Jamie last Carnage Cup got me prepared for that. That right there was the scariest moment of my career so far. So, leading up to the moment of the U-Haul, it wasn't so much of the fall that scared me. It was the beating I done took from the man that I was looking up at. And I've called family for years. My whole childhood, I've looked up at Bryant, Blaine, a lot of these guys. I might hate them sometimes, I might love them sometimes, but no matter what, we're family, and that's what family do. We hate each other, we fight each other. Any brothers or any sister, we all going to do it. So when I looked up at him and I seen that he wasn't going to hold back, that we were fixing to fall, and he put me up on his shoulders, that was the scariest part for me. And I don't know what part of it got me the most. That or the emotions of I pretty much went through a car wreck, Something broke mentally there. We're getting a little real here, so I will say that later that night, I had a little PTSD in my sleep. Pretty much took up half the campers around me. screaming, hollering, no. Same thing you hear on the video. Right before Brian picks me up, everybody around me heard me. I didn't find out this until last night when my brother come over and decided to tell me.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
but so many people were behind you, man. So many people. The world was behind you. I mean, we were chanting your name, and you kept fighting. But everything you have more heart than any man I've ever seen in this business, and that's including Little Spike Dudley. You have so much heart. But when I heard you say no, I'm not disrespecting you when I say this. You could sense the fear, like you knew something unpredictable was about to happen. You know what I'm saying?
oh Lord, yeah, that was a scary moment. I don't know if I ended up with a concussion from it or not. I did land pretty good, like you said, John. He protected me well, 100%. But I mean, I did end up with a little injury out of it. I've heard he got the brunt in, like you said, his vertebrae in his lower back, hurt his hip, and he's having trouble walking, from what I've heard. I haven't talked to him the last 2 days, so I do not know. But my end of the bump, the worst end I've got was a stiff neck, but you could expect something like that coming up 12, 15 foot. I mean, that's a bump. Not a normal human being can take that. Exactly. A normal human being can't take that, but we're out there doing it.
Yeah.
And if I know anything about Brian Woods, this ain't gonna set him back. He's a fight champion. He's a fighter all the way through. Anybody knows that Brian Woods knows that.
Yeah.
I'm giving him props because looking up at him, hearing the fact that he is place number 7 in Alabama's Strongest Man competition, and he said he's not stopping there, and he's gonna come back from knee injury, hip injury, and this is prior to all these wrestling injuries. And then he still is going through this. I don't think he's done.
Yeah.
Just like I don't think John Rare is done.
I can't say it. I can't say it, John. I love you. You're not done.
No, you're not done.
No. It's part of the business. You've been in it too long. I've heard it from more people than just deathmatch wrestlers, like big-time wrestlers. I've heard Ric Flair say it a few times. I'm just going to stop there because I'm just not going to start naming off a bunch of people. But they said that once you get in the business so long and you take these bumps so often that you step away from business thinking that you're done, then all that pain starts coming back. And the only thing that will help you is to step back in the ring and take them bumps, smoothing your body back out, beat it back in place.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's one of my biggest fears about wrestling. I've loved it my whole life. I know it's going to beat my body, but somebody has got to do it for these fans. If nobody wanted to wrestle, there would be a sport. Somebody's got to do it. But I do what it takes to put on a show for these fans, no matter the cost.
Yes, I agree.
I think some fans forget that sometimes. They do.
Yeah.
But no matter what, we're always there.